about things that partners are doing in the community. We're gonna have one of our partners call in and talk about the amazing work that they'll be starting Sunday. And also, we're gonna have my daughter, which I am proud of. She graduated with two majors from Landis State College.
You got to go out and see that, right?
Yes, yes. And she's gonna call in and talk about ways to medicine and walk away from stressful situations where they escalate into violence. So we got a lot going on, and then Joe got some amazing topic to talk about as well about a proof of residency for elections. We've been running into that, registering people to vote, the proof of residencies people can have or provide to register to vote for elections. So Joe will be talking about that.
Absolutely.
Yes. So the number one thing I want to highlight right now is we have a couple of partners that's been doing some amazing work in the community. And yesterday, one of our partners had a cleanup for his son. Passed away, unfortunately. And he was a true activist in the community. And so for his birthday, he decided to have a cleanup in the community. So right off the 4300 block of North 48th Street. So I think that's what I want to say off Marion, in between Marion and Congress on 48th Street.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Fathers Making Progress is one of our partners,
Mm-hmm.
Teron Edwards, and he does amazing work with fathers in the community.
Great program.
And yes, it is. And he had a cleanup yesterday. I wish we could have. I wish I was here
Yeah.
Tuesday or Monday, but unfortunately, I was traveling with my children to come back from Little Rock, Arkansas.
And we always talk about that, about taking pride in your community, about
Hmm.
cleaning up your community, cleaning up your block. So that's great work that they're doing right there.
Yeah, it is because, like you said, Joe, take pride. We have to clean up our communities if we want to see better, do better, and know better. We got to start with ourselves. So, the number one thing is to, we in the winter, people tend to just throw it out the window.
Oh yeah.
Roll the window down real quick, throw the trash out, and roll it back
And
up.
we know
But
how the
then in the
wind is.
summer, when it melts,
Yep.
you see all this trash out here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for us to get those rakes out, rake it to the curb. Sweet, my mother had us do that every year. I don't know about y'all, but my mom had us do that every year. First thing, spring cleaning, go
Yeah.
outside, rake all them paper, little wrappers,
Everything with the
candy.
winter wind
Yep.
blew in and
Yep.
stuck to fences, in the bushes,
Yep.
everywhere. Yep.
Rake it to the curb, sweep up the curb. I used to always be like, why we gotta sweep up the curb? That's the curb. Ain't nobody walking on the curb. And she like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just gonna blow back on your house. So what's the point in raking it to the curb? You gonna let it stay there and it blow back on your house.
And just taking pride
So
in your community and
hmm
wanting your community, your blocks, your neighborhoods to look nice
and
and
it made a
presentable.
trend on her block. You start seeing other neighbors
Mm-hmm.
doing it or either asking her, can they use us, her children, to rake theirs? And if they couldn't get out there, some of our elderly people on our block would
Mm-hmm.
ask her, can we come rake their yard and sweep it up for them? So it made the block cleaner. And when you walk on our block, you could tell that we all cared about our homes and how they look and how decent they were. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, got a couple of things. One of our partners, Rooted and Rising, they are located in the Washington Park area. They are having their monthly meeting. So I'm giving a shout out to them. Monday, May the 20th at 2:30 is their monthly meeting at Rooted and Rising. So we're asking people to come out. We're asking people to come that lives in the Washington Park area, either come to Rooted and Rising, or either you can reach out to me at Wisconsin Voices, Latoya at Wisconsin Voices, and I will set you up with the link to where you can get on and actually be virtual on the meeting. These are important meetings for your
Mm-hmm.
communities. um, I know we have viewers all over Milwaukee, and if you're in the Washington Park area, it's really, really important for your voice to be heard. And that's one of the amazing organizations that do amazing work in that community that actually wants people voices to be heard.
And we talk, we hear the questions a lot of times that folks are wanting to know how to get plugged in. How do I give back to my community? How do I get in touch with these organizations? Well, right there, they have these meetings. Be a great opportunity to go meet some folks and plug in.
Right. And so one thing that they were doing their meeting, let me explain that to you. Um, we are in a season and have been invited by Mayor Johnson and District 3 in Milwaukee Police Department to join them for the summer kickoff for Brats with the Cop for the Washington Park and Metcalf Park area. It will occur at Butterfly Park, located at North 38th Street and West Monarchy. That's right in the back of Pick and Save. So people know it's right in the back of Pick and Save on 35th and North. Right in the back, exactly in the back of Pick and Save. Uh, no, he doesn't. Right in the back of Pick and Save. You see, you tell everybody.
Joy's popular around here. They can see, phone calls, text, people talking. Yeah, popular.
So that will be happening this Monday. And it's on 38th and Monarchy, right in the back of Pick and Save at 2:30 is the setup, 3 p.m. is the start time, till 5. This includes a walk of the neighborhood with the mayor and fun at the park with cops and brats. Safe and Sound and the Cops Foundation will be joining us as well. So that's this Monday at 2:30. So Rooted and Rising does amazing work in the community. Metcalf Park does amazing work. They're both our partners. And we help build create Butterfly Park with Metcalf Park. So it's really about having spaces for our children to play and feel comfortable and safe in their community. That's one of the um, parks that is dearest to me because I help put the slides, the swings, everything together. Um, um, oh, literally sat and talked with all the people that did the work in that park. Our board helped work in that park. Um, you had artists that drew. Actually, all the artwork in the park is done by a young man that lives right there in the community. So that park is significant to the community because it's created by the community in the ways they wanted to see their park done. So and Carmex also helped us build that park. I give credit where credit is due.
Again, talking about that ownership in your
Mhm,
community, you
mhm.
feel that ownership. You holds a special place in your heart because you put the blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Yeah,
I think that's the message that we try to get out to the community. You get plugged in, you start to get into these programs and these events, and you start to feel ownership in those things as well as parts of your community. So, yeah, that's great for you.
yeah, it is. It is. So I always say that we, as you said, we got to take that ownership of our community. If we don't, who will? I mean, truly, just like this weekend. That's why I thought it would be really important on the show today to highlight how to be able to de-escalate situations. Um, we always talk about cars speeding and racing. Um, I'm not gonna say names, but got a young lady doing like 90 up. I can't say if she was coming up Burleigh or was she coming up Appleton. Yeah, and killed the man. Now she's sitting there. You're finna do some serious time. You're doing 90 miles an hour
And it
in a
wasn't her
30-mile
first.
zone,
I think she was
and
already
her license was suspended.
suspended, but it wasn't her
Yeah,
first driving violation.
yeah,
When did this
yeah,
happen?
Jermaine.
Well, it was a couple of days ago,
Couple of
wasn't it?
days ago.
Really?
No more than 2 days ago.
What? Okay, so what I don't understand is, first of all, what would possess you to drive even over 60 miles per hour on that residential street? One. Two, back in the day, when we was doing stuff, we used to have burnout phones. Now it seems like when they playing Russian roulette with their life
Mhm.
as if they can just throw it away and pick it up.
Mhm.
And other
And
folks' lives
yeah,
too.
and other
Yeah,
folks' lives.
'cause
So
she ran a light
she
doing
ran a
90.
life doing
She
90.
didn't even try to look to see if cars was coming or nothing.
But you know
Mhm.
and I'll be honest with
That's
you
true.
too, that is a great observation, but Imma be honest with you. If we gonna really tackle the real situation, it's really all about and when you look at these kids at 5, 6 years old, you got them playing Grand Theft Auto. They playing these video games, which is programming them. Then they get to the age that they wanna try some of the stuff that they saw, and how I know it's true, when I was younger, the stuff that I saw and heard is the stuff that I did because I saw it and heard it. And now you see the younger generation, it's a lot of stuff that's available to them now that wasn't available to us. So it wasn't able to program us as much as it is now programming these kids that's out here doing all type of stuff that they see and hear. So it's a lot of this stuff, man, because I've heard some kids say, "Man, I was playing a video game. I got out. I was just driving as fast as I wanna do what I wanna do, still in the
Mhm.
car, just having fun with it." They think it's a game until it's too late.
Mm.
'Cause doing 90 miles an hour up a street, first of all, you got a vehicle that's worth a couple thousand pounds, and trying to stop that on the dime is impossible.
Impossible.
You turn it into a weapon. I mean, it's a
Turning it into a
2,000-pound
weapon,
weapon.
a
Yeah.
2,000-pound weapon.
Especially doing 90 miles an hour against somebody that's doing 30, at the most 35, miles an hour. 'Cause most, regular citizens are driving at a normal speed rate. So I do like 35 miles an hour at the most. So if I'm doing 35 and you hit me doing 90,
It's
Oh, yeah.
over.
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
And the killer part about this, Jermaine, is a lot of these people don't die. They kill the other person.
Right. It's always the innocent person that passed. Like, they had a funeral service here a couple days ago, of a young man that was killed in a car accident. He was on his way home on 27th Street. He was in a van, and the car running from the police ran through the light, flying up the street, hit the van. Now, the young man that hit him survived,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but the innocent guy that was a good dude that had a family loses his life, and that's really like 95% of the story of all these other stories that you hear about
Yeah,
of people running lights and having accidents, and it's always
yeah.
the innocent person that died, but it's the person that's running the light that's playing Russian roulette with their life.
Right, right. And I'm like, you playing Russian roulette while you didn't die, cause I wasn't playing Russian roulette. I wasn't even in the game. I'm trying to go
I'm
home.
trying to go home
How
with my
you
mother.
live and I
Yeah,
didn't. Like,
And now you
man.
have 2 families that are
there
still
you
alive.
go,
Yeah,
man.
She's
there
gonna
you
go,
go.
she's gonna go away for a long time,
Yeah.
and you have one person that's
And
deceased.
she was sitting there crying, and I'm like, "Are you crying because?" And this is something I asked in my head too, because it really irritates me that way too. Are you crying because you're finna go away, or are you crying because you messed somebody's life up and their family sitting here hurt because they're gone and they'll never get them back?
No, Imma tell you exactly what it is, and it's just from my point. I believe it's because they thought it would never happen to them, and it did.
Mhm.
So when it happens to you and you find yourself floating face down in the mainstream, you almost like, "I can't believe that this is happening." But you did it. You played Russian roulette so long that the first time it didn't happen, second time it didn't happen, third time it didn't happen, so you figured it won't happen to me. Did it do?
Mhm. And you are so correct. You are so correct. That's why I said I don't understand. I really don't understand, um, uh, why people take other people's lives in jeopardy like it's a game. And they don't and the killer part about it is like you said, it's like they are like invisible. They don't
Mhm.
die. And I'm not saying I want a person to die. I'm saying how do the innocent person end up? And then I really thought about it. I was like, okay, they doing 80, 90 miles an hour. When they smack that other person, they smacking that person, that's like a wall. So when that hit that person, your whole body shifted.
like
Yeah.
a missile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a
like a
missile.
missile hitting you.
Yeah.
So your body shifts. They their car is going so fast that their body is already in the intensity of
Yeah.
things. So that's how they're not dying because they're in intensity. You're not expecting this. You're relaxed, and it's not that hard. It's like a missile.
Listen, Imma be so honest with you. So grateful that last year, August, the morning of my birthday, August 10th, my son, his brother was on Burlock, and they was getting ready to park in front of their house, so they made a right turn or a U-turn, and they had the right to. And while they was doing it, a car come flying up Burlock, hit the car. Both of them went to the hospital. My son had a bruised lung. His brother had a broken pelvic. But I'm grateful that God spared
Mhm,
because it could have been a situation that I could be grieving the loss of my biological son and his brother.
mhm.
And it's just that with these cars and these people mindset, it just make you think of when you get in your vehicle and drive, it's like you're driving not only for yourself, but for everybody else that's around.
Every time I go past an intersection, I'm literally looking out like, cause you thinking about police chases, you think about these people flying up the streets, not caring, running through lights. So every time I'm going through an intersection now, my foot is on the brake
Yeah,
and I'm coasting like, hold on, cause if I gotta turn, and my kids will tell you, I didn't have to turn my car like a racetrack
yeah,
where a car coming
yeah,
about to hit me and I turn my car and I'm looking at them while I'm turning it
yeah.
like, what is you doing? But I was able to turn my car
Able to
I
afford
could
it.
go the same way they going. I
Yeah,
wasn't going fast enough for and where I would hit them or they would hit me. I would turn my car and my kids like, dang, ma, you can drive. Like you
man,
gotta be able to drive.
listen here. See, I'm gonna tell you something, and this is crazy, but this is how I think every single day. It might sound funny, but this is true. I expect the unexpected. So
Mhm,
it's more like you can walk out your house and get hit by an airplane.
mhm. That's true.
So that's how you gotta kinda look at life now, is
Mhm,
expecting the unexpected. Because who would expect to get hit by an airplane? But because of all the stuff that's going on, you have to be so watchful and careful that your expectation has to be, "Okay, is it possible that I can get hit by a train out of nowhere,
mhm,
and it's not even train tracks out here?"
mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's that mindset now that you have to carry when you're dealing with especially coming up down Capitol, it's
Ooh,
like,
Oh, yeah.
man.
I take it every day on
Jesus!
the way to work,
I
and
mean,
I can tell you it's crazy.
it's like
Capitol and 27th Street,
Yeah, down by
man,
there,
them
yeah.
2 streets,
it's
Capitol and 27th
oh,
Street.
man, Fond du Lac 60,
Yeah,
that whole that
yeah,
whole strip is like Road Runner. It's like
yeah,
meet, meet, and then they gone.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Atkinson, all that.
Oh, man.
Atkinson, I don't know what they made that middle lane no turning lane for, cause they just use that both ways. I seen cars coming one day, a car flying the one the going, what you say, north and
Yeah,
the other car going, south,
yeah.
and they both I'm like, "Who finna move for who?"
Right.
Cause they both
They both
they
lined up.
both went around each other and the cars around. I'm like, "Oh my
There's
gosh."
nothing you can be doing or that you have to be in that big of a hurry.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be in that big
Nothing,
of a hurry.
Right.
nothing.
Take your time. It's not gonna going that fast is only saving you a minute or two. It's really not saving you that much time.
And if you gotta go that fast, you shouldn't have left when you left.
Early.
Right. Right.
You should have left.
Plan
My
ahead.
dad always told me I hate early morning drivers because they always racing because they left late for work.
Yep.
Leave early and you ain't got nothing to worry about. Or just accept the consequences because you flying ain't gonna get you there
Gonna
no
get you
quicker.
It's not worth
You
your
either
life.
get stopped by the police or have an accident. So that you really gonna be late then.
Not worth your life.
So yeah,
It's not worth your life.
yeah, that's true. Well, we'll take a break right now. This is Latoya with Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice at WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We'll be right back. All right, we are back with WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. And this is Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice. And I'm here with my boy Dre.
Well,
What's
great
up,
Friday.
Joe?
It's a great
Yeah. And Jermaine, we were having
Hey,
a real conversation. We didn't mean for it to get, but if it's something that we really need to talk about, we really do.
Mhm.
This is really important. Uh, I'm gonna highlight some more stuff that our partners are doing. Our Monica Dominican Center has a lot of events that they are having going on this summer, like their pop-up outreach day. Their first one was this Tuesday, May the 14th, which I know that day. That's my son's birthday. Had him on Mother's Day in '95. But the next one will be June the 11th. In between 12 and 2 p.m. and that will be on 26th and Center. Then they're gonna have one July the 9th. All of these is between 12 and 2. So just know the time is in between noon and 2 p.m. And they're gonna have one at 3144 North 27th Street on July the 9th, on August the 13th, 27th in Burleigh. May the 28th, they're gonna have one on 22nd in Fond du Lac. June the 25th, they're gonna have one on 26th Center. July the 23rd, they're gonna have one on in the 2100 block of Center, and August the 27th, 25th at Hopkins. But I'm gonna keep you informed. So they have one more this month, May the 28th, in between 12 and 2 on 22nd and Fond du Lac. So all the others, I will keep you informed on the days that before. So the next one will be the 28th. That's community outreach. Dominican has a lot of stuff they have going on. They have a mobile pantry that they will be starting on June the 18th on at 2470 West Locust Street. It's gonna be in between 11 a.m. and the event starts at 12 noon to 2 p.m. And that's on 2470 West Locust. Drive through or walk up. A mobile food somewhat like the pantry that we have on Wednesdays. It's
Mhm.
pretty much mobile. It's in one stationary place, but anybody can come and be served. So uh, that is some helpful information right there as well. And they have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm go to the next thing. They have a you know, outreach. They have a housing race equality where they have workshops that they'll have going on in their community. So if you're in the Armani, in between um, Tatonia 27th to 20th, uh, I believe it's Center to 27th, Center to 20th in Center area. That is the Armani area where Dominican serves. They have a community-based program with their residents in the community. They do amazing work. They're
Mhm.
also having community uh, uh, meetings where this is some amazing work right here. They need 600 volunteers needed for August the 17th and 18th because hundreds of critical and safe repairs on up to 30 homes in the Armani area will be made over 48 hours. And they're asking for 600 volunteers to come out. And these people can't afford to um, um, spend the money at the cost to
Mhm.
make these repairs. But it's really important that we help our fellow neighbors
Mhm.
get the repairs and the things that they need to help their homes be safe and functionable for them.
Homeownership's expensive,
Yes, it is.
and those repairs are expensive a lot of times. So something like that in the community is just that's awesome. And, I encourage anybody that has some free time that day to reach out to them and volunteer. 600 volunteers. That's a lot of people, a lot of hands that are needed. So doing some
Yes.
great work in the community. So hopefully we get a lot of folks showing up for that.
And it's going to be August the 17th through the 18th from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. for block building in Milwaukee. You will revitalize Milwaukee, and other community members will join forces to improve the quality of lives for homeowners in the Armani neighborhood. Registration closed July the 15th, and that's for people that on a volunteer and also people that need their home repaired. So
Awesome.
they do some amazing work in the community, and I wanted to highlight a lot of the stuff that they are doing. They're also having a block party on June the 8th. They're having their annual block party between Locust and Burleigh. And I have been to this block party. It's amazing. It's free food. They have free barbecue. Uh, the community be out there. It don't only be the people on that block, because all of us was people from the community come, and it be a lot of people just out there enjoying one another. And that time is in between 12 and 2 p.m. as well. And I see um their uh, genre of 12 to 2. And that's really that time where everybody's up. They usually get up at like 10:30, 11. Not everybody, but um, the middle-aged people usually getting up around that time and ready to get dressed and get out and do stuff. That's why they're doing a lot of stuff in between 12 and 2. And that's on 26 between Locust and Burleigh. And that's going to be a block party. And that's June the 8th. So everybody, if you're in that area, come out and fellowship with us and enjoy your community. It's gonna be food, fun, games,
Block parties are
bike
always
rides, mobile
always
bikes, repair. They got a person that comes every year that repairs the bikes and help kids, get their tires fixed and um, tighten up their handlebars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't rode bikes so long.
Mine was always tightening the chain up. Always had to tighten that chain up a little bit. It'd always
Yeah,
pop off.
they
So
help it.
yeah.
They help with that as well. So, if you want more information, you can email Jerusa at Dominican Center.org. So again, we have a lot of partners doing a lot of amazing work in the community. I'm gonna kick it back to our conversation because that is something that is very important. Um, I'm hoping that I get this caller in that's really important. My daughter, she graduated with 2 majors in this work, and she
Mhm.
actually does a class for me in my youth class. She does the self care sound bath piece. She is really for to be my baby, 24, and graduated with 2 majors. Just had 2 twins, a boy and a girl, in January, and still pushed on and graduated. She has been my inspiration on telling me how to calm down and meditate. 'Cause I used to be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Nah, you gotta calm down. You gotta take a step back. You gotta think. Your chakras and your." And at first, I used to be like, "Girl." Now I really see, like, okay, you are right. It really takes more. What did I say to you when we were coming in here? I said, I really let me call her on the fly when I was coming in. You see me on the phone. Let me call her on the phone and say, because this weekend is really going to be a warm weekend. Gotta give people some ideas and ways to like walk away. You got because I walk away a lot now, especially in the stores doing stuff and these little sassy females come in there act like they own the place. I be, yeah, let me go on in.
Sometimes you just gotta
You
let it
gotta
go.
learn how to walk
Yeah.
away,
You
just
gotta
like
let it go.
ignore it. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to talk to people about. I want
Mhm.
us to talk about is learning how to ignore it.
Yeah, and it's that what you said, and well, I'm glad that you said that because that was an experience. It was something that I had to learn. Coming up, is, the, what you see now is progress and hard work
Mhm.
from me because the person I used to be, I had a short fuse. So it was almost like when you light a firecracker and you get that and you got time to run.
Mhm.
For me, it was spot, and
Right.
then I was there. But what it taught me was one, you can lose your life not thinking about situations, though you can jump into a situation and then it can go completely left. And now it's like, okay, where do we go from here?
Mhm.
Compared to taking time to say, hey, you know what? Certain things you say and do, I'm gonna let it go because growing up, yeah, you can have your opinion, but you can do whatever. But for me, I'm responsible for my actions. I'm responsible for how I respond. So you can do whatever. Like you can walk up and slap. Now, when that's happening, it comes to the point: what are you going to
Mhm.
do? Because you can react and you can lead to something else, or you can respond differently, some ways that they won't even expect you to respond.
Right.
And now you bring a whole soft ambiance into the situation.
Mhm.
So that's true. Learning how to deal with situations, you can really unplug certain situations and stop certain situations from happening just by how you respond. Because the expectation for some people that when they approach you, they want you to be rowdy. They want you to act out whatever. But if you respond differently from what they expect, now they like, okay, so what do we do now?
Right.
You
Mhm.
see what I'm saying? So it's all about how you respond to situations. For me, I had a situation that I blew a whole complete opportunity. And this is what made me to who I am now. I had no clue who this young man was that actually came over to my house and me being um I'm gonna use the word stupid. Me being stupid and acting a certain way. I didn't have a clue to who this person was and then turned on my TV watching the Bucks game and the Bucks won the championship. And my guy that was at my house that was with me when the situation happened, he said, "Man, ain't that the same dude that was in your living room?" And I'm looking and I'm like, "Yeah." Come to find out, it was Bobby Porter's brother that came to my house with a mutual friend of mine. But because I had this attitude, I ran them off and not knowing that they was really coming to get me to take me to the game the day the Bucks won the championship. And I've been a Bucks fan all my life.
Oh,
So it's been 50 years since they won the championship. I'm 47. So that would have been an opportunity for me to just
right.
embrace and indulge in. But because of my attitude, I blew it. Now I'm like, hey, man, I show myself friendly everywhere because you never know who a person
Right.
is.
Can I ask you a question? Did your luck get better when your attitude changed?
Yes, man.
Isn't it
Yes.
amazing how
It's
quick your luck changes?
amazing. No,
Yeah.
that's true because it's almost as if you reap the benefit of change.
Mhm.
So by me changing and realizing, hey, Doc, you got to change from how you were because this was an opportunity that you might not ever get ever again.
Right.
This is Bobby Porter's brother that's in my living room,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I just clowned so bad, kicked him out. Y'all got to go. Turned on the TV watching the game. My guy was sitting, and he to this day he laughed at me so hard
Mhm.
because he was like, "Dude, you went off and turned the TV on, and they on the floor hugging Giannis and in the locker room with champagne, and I'm sitting there with egg on my face eating crow because they
Mhm.
really came to grab us.
Right.
But because I didn't show myself friendly,
He
I
was
missed
like,
out on the
"Man, I
opportunity.
don't wanna deal with
Yeah,
that."
I missed out on the whole so I'm watching it on TV, and to this day, when I go to my guy Facebook page and see that the championship, they standing next to Giannis with the goggles
Mm.
on and champagne everywhere. I'm like, womp, 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 womp.
Mm.
It's my fault.
Let's get some callers to call in. 414-444-5250 and talk about your moments where you learn how to um, control your temper,
Mm.
because that is something really important that we really need to start doing in the community is controlling our temper. And that's what we're talking about here is how you mess up your opportunities and your blessings when you have those tempers and don't know how to control yourself. We're gonna go to a little break and we'll see you when we come back. This is WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM, be a voice for Wisconsin voice. Hey, we are back with this important conversation. So we have a caller on the line. Well, he was on the line. Yeah, we had a caller on the line with Jermaine. When he was telling us about him losing his temper, and he could have went to the championship game and been on the floor with the team. and didn't realize that was Bobby Portage brother. So we were and all of us in here talking about this conversation. It's a hot topic for us because we know our this weekend is going to be a beautiful weekend. This is starting our summer weekends. Next weekend will be Memorial weekend, and we just are trying to talk to people about not exploding and controlling your temper. And if you need somebody to talk to, find a therapist or a friend that you can really open up and talk to, because truly we need to find better ways than resorting to violence.
Absolutely. I mean, no matter where you find that outlet, whether it's through your church, whether it's through meditation, through exercise, yoga, it doesn't matter how you get there. It just matters that you're working on your mental health because you have to be strong mentally to be able to handle the world that we all face out there every single day. You have to be tough mentally. And then when you don't continually practice those things and release the anger and embrace the peace, you know,
You are so right.
things are just going to explode.
You are so right. And I want to do this one thing. Um, our guest, she said she tried to call in, but I don't know what happened to her because we got other people calling in. But Sherman Park
Mhm.
is having a event um Sunday, Earth Day. So it's again, like I told you, our partners do amazing work in the
We have
community.
great partners at Wisconsin Voices, don't we?
Yes, we do, and they do some amazing work in the community. And what's funny is because I printed all this,
Mm.
and it's like when I print it, I leave it in the bag, and I'm like,
Mm.
oh man, that's why I brought the computer. Is I'm looking it up on the computer as well, like woo, because they do amazing work, and I just want to highlight all the work. That's why I printed it out. I wanted to go through pages and talk about the amazing work that they're doing. But Sherman Park is having a cleanup on May 19th, which is Sunday. Um, I will get more, but we can get back into that discussion before we get off the air. I will give you more details on that. But all of us was having a wholesome conversation about ways that we had to learn how to control our tempers and how we had to learn how to take these stresses and these traumas off us. Mine was years of losing people, like every 2 years from 2012, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. I lost, and I'm grateful to God for giving me a break. It's been 4 years since I lost somebody major in my life. Knock on wood. And I was severely depressed.
Mhm.
And why I'm talking to everybody about it and know that it's important is because the house that I lived in previous to this month was the house that me and my husband shared. And I didn't realize how depressed I was in that house. I was a functioning depression.
Mhm.
I was literally and when I had days and or occasions like our anniversary, his birthday,
Mm.
different events, our kids' birthdays, and I would be sad and depressed, and I didn't realize like why I was being so May 9th when he went in the hospital. Just different times. I didn't realize that because I'm not telling everybody that you gotta move out your home, but sometimes you gotta learn how. So what made my depression feel better? What helped me start clearing and start knowing um, that I was in a deep depression and I finally was coming out of it is when I was cleaning up my house to move. And I
Mhm.
was packing and I would start throwing stuff away that was remembrances of him, my mother, my father, the people that was in my life. My nephew, in 16 when he gave me a bunch of clothes and shoes and stuff, and I was with him that one last night. And when I left him, he went to sleep and never woke up again. And it just me throwing away all this stuff started just lifting my spirit. It was literally
Like closure.
yep, it was a closure. Like, wow, I didn't realize just sitting here harboring all this stuff, thinking of like I want to keep their memories. Their memory is still in my head. Everything I know about them, remember about them, is still there. And we walk around and function with that because it was plenty of times that I would explode and wanted to explode, but we got a caller. So, oh, okay. Oh, my bad. So it was plenty of times that I wanted to explode and would want to take it out on people and that didn't realize that I really was in a severe depression and it was making me angry. So that goes to what you were saying. It was making me angry. So I didn't and I'm thinking I'm functioning, I'm normal and stuff happen with people. I'm like, "You cra- oh, you let me but not realizing and everybody used to see me as a peaceful person. I'm kind of getting back to her now. I can see the way everybody like even Tamika asked me, she
Mhm.
said, "Why your face and my kids told me your face, your skin is glowing now, mommy. You're kind of back to yeah,
Mhm.
'cause I had that depression look sad because I didn't realize that I was functioning in a depression. I'm living in this house with this stuff every day and I'm laughing and going places, thinking I'm having fun. But when I get home, I'm back to the same depression. Yeah. So like okay, but get up every day functioning and then realize when I start throwing that stuff away, like I'm not
Mhm.
taking all this stuff with me. I'm only taking a full functionable house. I'm not taking having a closet full of antiques from my mother, my dad's stuff, my husband's shoes sitting there where he left them when he went to the hospital. I'm not taking none of this stuff with me. I'm throwing it away. And when I start throwing that stuff away before I move, and when I start doing that, I just start feeling so much better. So sometimes we need to do some real spring cleaning for ourselves in
Mhm.
our lives. Like s- let go some of this stuff. And let go. And as they say, let go, let
Mm.
God his way. But let it go. Because like this weekend, I'm really on this because I don't want to turn on the news and hear 14 different shootings and
Mhm.
a kid got shot last night, a 3-year-old. I don't want to hear all this stuff.
We just
I
had one right down by our office this
right.
week,
Yep.
and it's like we don't want to see that anymore. We don't want to see that anymore. And we, like you said, we know. We even talked before the show. When the heat rises, so does everyone's tempers.
Temper. Yep.
So it's just as far as you're driving and being out there and doing whatever you're doing, man, just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And you know what? My dad always used to tell me that if you're angry today, walk away today, and if you're still angry tomorrow, then I guess it's legitimate. Most of the time when you walk away for a day, you're like, you know what? It really wasn't that big. Or I really wasn't that mad.
Yeah, the majority of the time, if a person carry it more than a day, it's really a pride ego issue.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They don't want to let it go because they feel like that they're tougher than what you know how the situation turned out.
Mm,
And the majority of the time, that's pride.
right.
And pride and ego that would cause you to get into a situation that would either cost you your life or jail time
Mhm.
because of pride and ego because you couldn't let it go. Somebody said something to you and you just who you can't talk to me like that, but then you carry it over, you keep it and you harbor it, then you carry it over, then you see this person the next day. Now it's oh man, I'm gonna get my lick back.
Mm.
And now you got a whole nother situation. Um, and that's been accountable for you and learning how to walk away and let things go. Like let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. If it's raining today, it's a great chance that it's gonna be sunshine tomorrow.
Yeah,
100%. 100.
100%. Like I told y'all, it took me, and I'm telling this to the people that is in those PTSD moments,
Mhm.
those severe grieving moments, and you're functioning, and you really think, and it's a lot of people that's angry and function. I functioned every day. I didn't just get into it with people, and you guys work with me. I didn't just
Yep.
get into it with people, but I had moments where it just was so heavy on me that you could see it in my eyes, my face, and I kept saying, "Man, I can't get my face to be normal again. I keep just looking like I'm sad, grieving, depressed. And that's because I really wasn't healing. I was going back to the same space of grieving every time I walked in that door and looked at that museum. And that's what I started calling it in at the end. Like, okay, this was a museum of all the people that I love stuff that I kept and I was holding it, thinking that I was holding them. Um
Carrying the weight of all
yeah,
that.
mhm,
Yeah,
and
carry
wasn't letting it go.
That makes you tired.
It's the caller. Hello, caller.
Good morning or
Good
good
morning.
afternoon. Thank you for taking my call. Assalamu alaikum to you all. I'm
Hmm.
listening to you. Yes, ma'am. Listening to you talking about anger and things like that. And I understand that uh, maybe some people are of the mindset that you should just, when something happens to you, you should just accept it and let it go. Although, when it comes to being angry or people becoming angry, and justice has not been executed, or there has not been a point of justice, and from black people or black persons in America, that probably will never be the case. So we should not be surprised that you are encountering angry black persons or even angry individuals, regardless to whatever their ethnicity is, because of the society and for the most part, the entirety of the world is at 100% dissatisfaction. So when we're encountering angry people, and we probably are not as angry as this person, I think that we should probably be more readily uh, available or readily to assess before we antagonize that person, even just by mere assumption or preconceived notion. Because for the most part, everybody thinks that black people or black men or black women or black folks in general primarily are angry. And black people do have a right to be angry because black people are at the bottom of the totem pole every in every aspect of life when it comes to this world society. So when I see an angry black person, and I'm black myself, I do not do anything to exacerbate or to add on to that person's anger. If they're angry with me, I would become analytical about it to assess it and see if there is a way where we may be able to reach some uh, some level of understanding, whereas we will not uh, destroy one another. But since our people have not been properly prepared, that's why we see so much violence in our community. And the people who are properly equipped to address the anger that exists in our people, they are marginalized and they're shunned, they're censored, or or they attempt to discredit them or or castigate them as a person of hatred. And I'll end it with this. If our black people were allowed to be exposed or be even saturated with the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, then you would not see all of the violence that you see in our community. Because the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, they speak to the nature of our condition and the nature of us as a people. And the more we go outside of ourselves as a people looking for answers, the more exacerbated the anger will become. And we will be fruitless in our efforts to quell it.
All right,
Thank
thank you so much, caller. We're getting close to the end of our show. I appreciate you calling and expressing yourself. I truly do. And you are correct that our people have underlying anger from the suppressions that they have been going through from years ago. But what we're talking about is learning how to not take out harm on one another. That's pretty much what we're saying. It's like let's find ways of like what you said. I try to find a way that I can talk to a person. If you can't, let's walk away. But it's a time and place where we gotta stop harming one another and using a system is the reason why we're killing one another. That is what I'm trying to portray to you.
And there's a difference between being mad and being angry.
Mhm.
There's a there's
Mhm.
a difference with that. So using the word angry compared to mad, you have to be very careful because there's a difference with that.
Mhm.
So you can be mad and you can be upset, but then somebody come and give you a nice kind word that would change your whole persona.
Right.
Being
Right.
angry is something that's much more deeper than rooted, than the surface. It's something that's built up. It's something that you carry, and it snowballed until you've been angry. So that's a different
Right.
situation right there, because being angry comes from something else that's rooted.
Well, we were talking about this whole time. I don't know if he was paying attention, but we were talking about different types of anger. Like my anger, that didn't come from, excuse my French, and I don't mean no harm. That didn't come from the white man. That didn't come from nobody else. That came from the endurance of losing people I love.
Experience.
Your
My
experience,
experience.
experience,
That you
yeah,
went through.
the
Right. And
experience,
that
yeah.
I can't take that out on anybody because didn't nobody do anything to me. Didn't no system from slavery and nothing have nothing to do with that. That was just life and longevity, and it was my grieving and holding it. So thank you guys for having this wholesome conversation. And again, I hope we have a pleasant weekend
Safe
and a
weekend.
safe weekend and find ways to really address talking to one another. WNOC. um, have a great weekend. Wisconsin Voices be a voice.